Welcome in to Studio Z. We are here with my lovely brothers. We got Sam Mealy down on the left. We got Joe. We got Joe Mealy here in the middle.
Yes, sir.
And I myself am Zach Mealy. You guessed it. That's right. And we are here, and we officially have our name, Bro. That's Wicked Smaht.
Good old Boston
That's
accent.
right. We figured we'd
SMAHT.
That's right. We get the little Boston. We're not in the heart of Boston, but we're from the area, and we figured we're gonna tap into our roots here.
Yeah. Does it have anything to do with our podcast?
Well, we are bros, so we figure bro, and then it's that's Wicked Smaht is a pretty common Boston stereotype, and some cultural appropriation right there.
Oh, perfect.
Good old fashioned. What do you think about the name JoJo? I just called you JoJo.
JoJo,
You okay
wow.
with that?
I haven't been called that since I've been 5, but
Well, I'm gonna keep it going.
I do. Actually, you do call me that occasionally.
I do call you JoJo. It was unintentional just now, so.
I like it. I think it's kind of fun. I don't know who actually came up with it.
You know what's fun is it was we all kind of had a piece, a part of the pie. If it was a pie, we all had a nice sliver. Large sliver. Sam had the largest.
We were talking about it for a while. I forgot who actually had the
Well,
thoughts.
that's true because the first 3 episodes, we're on episode 4 right now. The first 3 episodes, we actually didn't have a name. And so, like, I put the intros in, so it's kind of weird. You see the intro, see the name on the video if you press it.
Yeah.
But once you actually watch the video,
We don't mention the name.
There's no name. So this is the first time we officially have the name. We're pretty excited about it. Sam, do you have any thoughts on Bro? That's Wicked Smaht?
Well, I mean, I could tell the story, what happened.
Yeah, please.
So basically, Joe and Zach were coming up with ideas of, podcast names, and Zach showed them to me. And one of them was that's or something like, whoa, that's wicked smart. And immediately I thought of the commercial Smaht Pack with
so I think
with David Ortiz and Chris Evans and John Krasinski when the car that parks itself. And it's like, whoa, that car's wicked smart.
Let me just jump in
Smaht
here.
Pack.
Yes, so I think we had something like that's wicked cool or like that's super wicked or something along those lines. And so then you came in with the Smaht.
Yeah, the Smaht.
And
that's where my brain went. And I was like, dude, that's wicked smart. And then Zach was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and
then we eventually it evolved into Bro. That's wicked smart just because we're bros, of course.
Yes,
it's
and
wicked.
Then we pitched it to Joe, and he liked it. So
is wicked like a Boston thing?
Wicked.
Yes. Yeah.
I was wondering just what's been going on this week, because we haven't filmed podcasts for a couple weeks now. So just what's been going on? I've been around a little bit, but not like I've been around maybe once or twice.
You left us. I mean, you're paying child support, but that's about it.
Yeah, well, and it's killing me too.
Yeah.
Can't even pay my bills.
Yeah, right. I saw you riding around a Harley. You bought a toy.
Oh yeah. Sam, how has your week been? What's been going on?
Zach's giving me the look like that was the most unfunny thing he's ever heard.
No, I just don't understand where child support came in. Like,
do you know what that is? I haven't been around, so my head went to
okay.
fathers leaving children.
Wow. So
Which actually
kind of a good segue into today's topic.
which we're not ready for, but that's Oof. All right, Sam. So on that note, talk about your trivial life.
I've got so hard, guys. I live in America on Cape Cod. My life is horrible.
Yeah.
No, my life's great. But anyways, I basically
way to flaunt your white privilege.
Oh boy. So I'm doing basketball in like 6 weeks or so. So I'm taking this week right now, and I'm on a juice cleanse. Actually, I've got one of the juices right here. Citrus carrot. It has orange, carrot, ginger, and lemon. All right.
I do not want to be kissing you after that one.
Oh boy, it's rough. The only thing I can wash it down with is water. Like I can't cleanse my palate. It's absolutely terrible.
So when you say juice cleanse, you're saying that like that's all you drink.
That's all I drink. Yeah,
or all you eat too, right?
From like Raw Generation. Not a sponsor, just some good stuff. Check it out.
That's your nutrients for the day.
It's my nutrients. I have drink 6 of these a day, and it fills me up. It's weird. Like it's completely juice. I feel like disgusting.
I would have a hard
But
time
I've
with
lost
that.
10 pounds in 4 days, so it's working. And then I'm going on keto for the next 5 weeks. So,
Dude,
yeah.
if you were trying to lose 10 pounds, you should just cut your hair. I mean,
Oh yeah.
That's impressive. I have to say, I'm an extreme. I feel like I'm extreme. I'd be like, if I'm gonna try to like lose fat, or I know you're doing it for some different reasons. Well, are you?
Well, I'm just trying to get in shape. Not
necessarily
to lose weight or gain muscle. It's just to gain endurance for basketball, because it's running up and down the court is my weakest part of basketball. So
Physical.
I just fall over after a while, and your jump shot really dies when you get tired.
Yeah,
and it's hard, and your
It does.
accuracy falls too. So
I was just gonna say, I feel like I'm extreme if I'm like, oh, I'm gonna lose weight. I just won't eat.
no,
But-
well, see, that's a really bad way.
Yeah,
to do it,
I
so.
know.
Yeah.
It's just funny. I'm extreme that way. Well, yeah, I definitely have not been indulging in such self-control this week, I would have to say.
Really?
As far as like only drinking juice.
are you? Oh, you're drinking some adult beverages? Do I have that wink, wink? Don't tell mom.
No, I'm not. I'm thinking.
I know he looks 12,
I'm
but he's
thinking
20.
of like. Nope.
You're like, I was blacked out. I don't remember.
Pasta and meatballs tonight.
Close to the mic.
It's
I'm gonna
terrible.
whisper. Close to the mic. There you go. Good
I'm
job.
not whispering. I'm talking normal.
No. I was trying to be subtle, and then I realized I was talking to the mic. So
Yeah,
just
don't be-
you just back here a little bit.
Don't be Joe Biden.
Don't be.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
No. When you whisper.
What?
Well, yeah. He gets.
You guys know me tell you a hint. You want to know who has the greatest country in the world? The country with the greatest economy? Let me give you a hint. It's the United States of America.
Joe Biden said
I
that.
quoted Joe Biden. He said that to the world leaders over like a Zoom call or something. I'm sure you could see the president Kim Jong-un just firing up his missiles and be like, "Yeah, man, we got this so good. This guy's so stupid. We're going to destroy America."
Okay, all right. We have just crossed
is
so
that-
many
yeah,
racial lines.
yeah.
That was. I'm pretty sure that was Jamaican.
Liberal.
That was.
I have to say.
That was.
Speaking of like Mexicans, what? I was at the Great Wolf Lodge a few weeks ago, and there was this
So
really
what is
awesome
that?
Mexican dude who had really long hair like me, similar color and straight and stuff. And he was like, and it's such a thick accent. And he was like humming Mexican music. And I was like, I love this guy. He's so funny. And he was just like doing my hardest. And he's like, it was funny. I was like, nice hair, man. He's like, thanks, you too, man. I was like,
Were you just admiring culture? Just the
Yeah.
melting pot of America?
I'm admiring the differences in all of us.
Nice.
So I am curious. You said you had a rough week. And eating wise, like, what's your go-to guilty pleasure snack?
Oh, snap. Well, this isn't a go-to. It's just whatever's in the house. But this week, Katie did bring home, I would say probably 15 Reese's.
Mm.
And
Wow.
I ate them within like 2 servings. Or 2 settings, I mean.
So the Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, some of them were the actual cups. Some of them were in like the little candy bar form. It's like,
Really?
yeah,
I didn't know they had candy bar.
yeah.
Interesting.
It's the same concept.
All right.
Chocolate outside, peanut butter in the middle.
That makes sense.
So I downed, maybe she brought home like 20. So I downed like 10 in each sitting. Not the best. Well, Sam's doing much better than I.
As Sam drinks his orange.
It tastes like orange juice with like an aftertaste of spicy ginger.
Wow.
So Joe, how are we? What are we looking at today for a topic?
I was listening to some stuff, thinking upon manhood. So I kind of came up with a thought, and I thought it'd be interesting to kind of just, as young men, to kind of getting into the world and maybe one day be fathers. And just, I thought it'd be an interesting conversation to have. Domestic abuse, anxiety, abortion, sexual orientation, and then like mass shootings, all these like very hot topic things going on in our culture these days. It stems back to a problem. The problem is manhood, specifically fathers in the home. And I'm not saying
lack
that
thereof.
all those problems are like, it's not all the lack of manhood in America, but that is in every single of those massive problems, having healthy fathers would dramatically help those causes. So I just thought, wow, so like such hot topic issue, or is that hot topic? Big button
Yeah,
issues.
that's fine. Hot Topic is a store, I think, as well, but in
really?
this case, it works.
Clothing store,
It's a
right?
clothing store, yeah.
Yeah.
But this is much more important.
Not one of the inappropriate ones, right? It's just a regular.
I hope it's not. I
Yeah.
I've never been. I don't think.
You'll be caught if it is.
That would be awkward.
Canceled.
So I was thinking, okay, how do we as men not contribute to where culture, the problems coming out of culture? And so my big thought was, well, let's just not have kids. What do we think?
Okay, I actually read a piece of satire called "A Modest Proposal" by a guy named Jonathan Swift many hundreds of years ago. He wrote it during the potato famine that was going on in Ireland at that time. And satire is basically, sarcasm to try to prove a broader point. So he's going to the extreme to prove his point. So he's not actually serious. But he said, oh, you know what we should do? Because there are so many poor people whose children are useless and there's children are just dying. What we need to do is we need to start eating babies, eating babies, so that we can get the money flowing in the economy, and then poor people will be able to have an incentive to get married, so then they get more kids and make money off of them. And he actually makes a really solid argument, which is funny because it's absolutely insane,
Right, but he was doing it to be humorous. Joe, what do you think about that point?
We're serious. He's human. No, we're taking this serious.
Just the facts.
Facts first. CNN.
I thought
Do you have a verse? I was just curious if you're like flipping through. You're like, you know what? I truly believe that killing children is actually like in the Bible. It says right here, don't do that. Like you're going to refute it.
child sacrifice.
In the Old Testament, if
yeah.
a kid talked back, they stoned him.
What?
So, yeah, in the Old Testament.
Are we sure about that?
I am
one?
positive.
Okay, we'll
That's
have
what Mom told me.
I think you should use that as a threat.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, yeah. As she's like sharpening her knife, like with a stone. Yeah.
That's pretty good. That was good.
Or sharpening her stone with the
another
knife.
stone. Just
No, with her knife. He's
Oh,
like,
with her
which
knife.
one are you going to use, Mom?
Oh goodness. That's one way to parent, I guess.
no. Then it's I'm gonna kill you. Then I'm gonna eat you.
Oh.
Well, this is that.
We'll pray over
gruesome.
yourself.
No. Joe, what do you got there?
So I don't know if I want to not like. I don't think not having kids is the answer because obviously, then society will, then the next generation
Will not be in
yeah.
existence.
Yeah, exactly. So that's not a
It's not the answer.
yeah,
I think
it's not the answer. It maybe it's a way to avoid the problem.
Of course, yeah, but
for the next generation, but
sure, but it also means like if we're actually saying like I thought you were saying it more as a rhetorical no, of course not.
Yeah,
like that's
I
more
kinda,
what you're saying.
I kind of am.
Okay,
yeah. And I just wanted to. So in Genesis, God created Adam, and then I'm just gonna what is it? Paraphrase. I'm gonna paraphrase.
I thought you were gonna say I'm gonna pray, and I was wow,
like,
we're gonna
okay.
do this right here. Okay,
This took a turn.
yeah.
Mass genocide to
Prayer.
Dear Lord.
Dear Lord.
It's a pretty good remedy, I guess you could say. To
Well, there we go.
Dear Lord, I have a big problem. I need some help.
This is not confession time.
You know that baby over there? I know you
stop.
love him.
All right,
Stop it.
enough.
That went
Nope,
way
nope,
too far.
Nope.
So it's not good. God literally said it's not good for Adam to be alone, for man to be alone. So he made woman, and then he told them to multiply and take dominion of the earth and have a lot of babies. Pretty much is the multiply part. Right. So in Genesis, he lays out, here's the family. First it was the man, and he said it's not good that it's not good that it's just you. So then he made the woman, and then their job together is, okay, now you're going to have babies.
Right.
And so God in Genesis, in the first 2 chapters, he already has implemented the family in the family unit into the world. And he did it probably for multiple reasons. I don't know. He's God, but probably just so that they will populate and there will be more humans. But also, God wasn't going to, in a perfect Genesis pre-sin world, he wasn't going to set up a system that was faulty. Like it was the best system for man to live and thrive was to have a partner and to have children, because that's what he commanded. He already set up that unit. So obviously, not having kids is not the answer of how do we stop all the suicides and all this stuff. So in society is not doing well with all these problems. Okay, so now we need to, God has directed us, okay, the family unit is the healthiest way for humans on this earth to live. Okay, so we're moving in that direction. In the family unit, as like I kind of want to go over like male and female roles in the family unit. In general, women, God created women to nurture babies, and they have they're predisposed to the nurturing part of life. Men are not. Men are more predisposed to like getting tasks done, and so like women are more relational, men are more what would be like ambitious, goal oriented.
Yeah.
Exactly. So with setting that basis, like, okay, so this family unit's very important, but now we get into the point of, okay, as men, and hopefully one day as all of us being married and fathers, Lord willing, we are not predisposed to the relationship part and the nurturing part. Our wives are going to do a lot better with that than we will within the family unit. And so it's not our strong suit. And I think that's why a lot of fathers have hard times with either relating to their kids, encouraging their kids, pretty much building relationship with their kids. And that's even if the fathers are around. A lot of fathers aren't even around.
Yeah.
It's just interesting that God set up this family unit, yet we are, as men, we're going to struggle with the family unit. And God commands us to lead our families. We're to lead our wives, lead our children, and be the cornerstone of our families. Yet it's not our strong suit. Yet that's not what we're built towards, really, like just in general as men. So we have to work a lot harder to get there, to nurture those relationships
and love our wives.
And which the kids need to see, and
Well, I mean, you say that with wives, obviously, or husband and wife relationship, but also all relationships, I think, as well. Like just generally, I think, generally speaking, men have tougher times with even friendship relationships as well. Like I think that's the same kind of concept as well. So I think it goes outside of just the marriage relationship as well. And then obviously you're talking about kids, relationship with kids and those kind of things. And I think I think they all have similarities between, friendship, kids, marriage, those kind of things. Like
it's just the relationships.
Yeah, even
in their
siblings,
life.
like siblings or your mother, father, like all of those kind of things, I think now might manifest differently, but I think are definitely very similar.
Yeah. And there's a Genesis 2:24 says, "Therefore man shall leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh." Now, if you're a believer, you've probably already heard that verse. That's a pretty common verse. But, that's a good representation of the family, of a father not only physically leaving his father and mother's home to go, be with his wife, but also rejecting everything else and holding fast. Like, I think that's important words, like holding fast and, rejecting temptation and just holding fast to her and fleeing temptation and, holding fast to what God has given him. I guess.
Yeah, to his woman.
Yeah.
Holding fast, that's a massive thing. At least in the few years that I've been married, that is the biggest thing. You have to be super, super intense on holding fast and be very stubborn in a good way.
Yeah.
To the marriage and realize that there's the best way to work through a marriage is going right through it. You're not escaping it. Doesn't like there'll be problems if you just say, okay, I'm leaving. Well, then you have a divorce, and then you the emotional things that you both have to work through a divorce, and like that doesn't take away the pain and the hurt of whatever's going on in the marriage.
Yeah.
So that holding fast is a massive part of marriage. Well, so I had laid out that men are not naturally bent towards those relationships, towards relationships in general, which I can definitely relate to. But it's not just that; it's also that culture is telling us that if we embrace manhood, we're embracing the patriarchal dictatorship over women.
Yeah, we're sexists and
Yeah, which we are, just to be clear.
Well,
I mean, that's my intentions. I'm not quite there. I'm working on it, but
you don't even have a woman. Is that what you're working on?
well, one step at a time.
Okay.
he's still perfecting his craft.
So I thought it was really interesting that it's like I think that's probably why men are having such a hard time, Like it's been like this has been a problem, but the culture now these days is getting even worse. Like telling men not to be men even more.
Well, I think that's the
Telling
key.
them not to stand up for truth and not stand up for their families and to back down and be weak and let the wives stomp all over them. So our dad he came up with a
Where are we going here?
definition of manhood.
Oh, okay.
And I can't remember the whole thing, but the first line is real men accept responsibility, reject passivity, and accept responsibility.
Love courageously was one of them.
Love courageously.
And I think there was one more.
Well,
I mean, he came up with a few of the lines. He also got them from like books and stuff.
Okay.
As well, I think.
And it, reject passivity. Passive being, weak men basically. Don't be a weak man.
Yeah.
Be a man of integrity and
Stand for what you believe. Don't shy away.
yeah.
And then also love without end,
Love
basically.
unceasingly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, which so there's that part which men have definitely taken a back seat to just letting women run their lives, which obviously in a marriage relationship you are to work together. There really shouldn't be one over the other who is domineering by any means. But the problem with the men is like the men just see, the woman, whatever, your wife, is just she has it under control because they're good at multitasking. They're good at just juggling things, and you're like, oh, hey, they've got this down. I don't need to worry about it. And then they become passive, and they just kind of like, hey, what? Like they just step away and just they give that authority to the woman to run the household, which doesn't end up good for the marriage. It doesn't end up good for the kids. It's not a good role model. It's about working together as a marriage partnership, and ultimately having the final decision on hard topics or hard decisions. Having the final decision on hard decisions. Yeah.
Last say on a hard decision.
Yeah, there we go. it does fall on the man
Mm-hmm.
because it is his responsibility to lead his family.
He's the head of the household. Yeah.
To lead his family in the way that he believes is the best for his family. He leads for his wife and for his kids. He doesn't lead for him.
Yeah.
It's not a selfish leadership. And so there's not much to be mad at. Like, the man is the head of the household. Well, yeah, he is. But to be a true man, you lead for the benefit of your wife and your kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so like we're laying out all the stuff of like what a man, what a husband, what a father should look like. And it's some hard stuff, like to actually put that into everyday life. That is constantly selflessly putting your needs down and putting your wives. Nope, it shouldn't be wives. Your wife's
Well,
and
yeah.
your children's.
I mean, it could be wives if you're a Mormon, right?
There we go.
That
honey,
would be
honey,
so
honey.
hard.
It would be a tough one.
Yeah, that would be a tough one.
Yeah.
Don't you think in other ways, more than just like the wife kind of taking over the household, the men in America and in Western culture, at least, I don't know if it's worldwide, but I'll just say Western culture, men are not being men even outside of just, the woman's got it, we'll just let her take the brunt of whatever's going on.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying this is too much work, they're just leaving.
Yeah, they're accepting passivity and rejecting responsibility.
I guess it's all the ultimate passivity is like, okay, I'm just leaving.
Yeah.
I'm just
Well, and rejecting responsibility
Oh,
as well.
yeah,
Like
there you
I
go.
think those both kind of fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting, the whole issue with wives, that's their sin, and if you look in Genesis, that's their, there will be pain in childbirth, and you will want to rule over your husbands, but they will rule over you.
You're saying that's the result of sin.
The
is what
result
you're
of
saying.
sin.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was her punishment.
Right.
Is that she would have the desire to rule over her husband, but she will be ruled over. Which that sounds kind of.
Do you think it's a punishment or just that's what sin brings out? Like women are just predisposed to
That's a better way of putting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Right. It's not necessarily a cause and effect. It's more just because sin is in the world. That's that women are gonna.
I made that sound wrong. I made it sound like
Yeah. It's like they
your
deserve
punishment.
it.
You will be ruled over.
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
not. That's not. No, that's not what it.
You don't even get to vote. Like that's not what we want.
Oh my god. I always have to bring this back to politics. I'm sorry, but that the rise of feminism and the rejection of fatherhood. We've gotten to the point now with in the 60s where it was very anti-God, humanistic time period of free love, do whatever you want, no responsibility, do what feels good. That is the complete opposite of the life that Jesus calls us to. And with the rise of feminists, basically, that came out of the progressive era, of the rejection. And the progressive era was a rejection of truth. It was a Marxist agenda to reject objective morality and objective truth, like we talked about last week.
Yep.
And to bring in their own truth. And, empowering women, all of these woke phrases that really have nothing behind them but garbage because they don't lead to happiness. None of this. It's a striving to try to basically make people feel good about their sin.
Well, what it also does is maybe it'll boost up the women, but in doing that, it tears down the men.
Yeah.
And when you tear down the men from the woman perspective, if you're tearing down the men, you're tearing down the quality of partners in the world to partner with to go through life. And I think that probably feminism has probably had one of the bigger impacts on the lack of good manhood in America compared to what maybe like 70 years ago.
And it's just the feminization of our culture also. Like now I'm guilty that I love fashion. I'm a fashion guy. I got the long hair. Okay, I'm a hypocrite in here, but it is true that men dress like girls. We got the jewelry and the watches, and not all men, of course, but a lot of, you look up, stylish men, you're going to see that, slicked back hair. It's all about the appearances. And that's a woman thing, and we wonder where that came from. My mom thinks it's the amount of estrogen that's in meat. She can have her opinion. That seems because it's true. They pump meat with estrogen. Side note. But she thinks that's why I'm feminine. I'm a man.
What would it?
Don't worry.
What would
I'm not
happen?
confused.
What would happen if they pumped it with testosterone? That'd be very unattractive for the world. I would have to say.
It would cause it would be like the Novacom saga and Odyssey, where just random fits of rage. Just
No, I think I would just be like, Mom, why is my chicken hairy? Like, what is going on? It's got a mustache.
It's getting a colonoscopy.
That's not just a man.
Oh,
thing.
it isn't.
No.
Oh,
Awkward.
oh, that's awkward. That's awkward. Okay. I think it's just lack of fathers in the home. When boys are raised by mothers only, they're raised, no, it's not the mother's fault. It's just that's how women are. And when there's not a man to, teach a boy how to be dogmatic and to stand up for himself and the people around him, he becomes a sensitive person. When he doesn't have that, and when he's raised by a mother, he becomes, not that I know people personally, there are exceptions to this, but generally, because women are very sensitive in nature. And
right.
It's not a bad thing, but that's just how they are.
Yeah,
and when there's an over consumption of that on the children's part, especially in the boys, that can be a very negative thing.
Right, and that's not to say that single mothers are doing something wrong or bad. It's just that
I clarified that.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
I missed that, but I
clarified
just wanted to say, I guess, clarify again or whatever. But just that, like, it's like they're doing what they know, right? They're being a mother, which is what they are, right? But because they're missing their other half, their other part, right? Then they're losing that male side as well.
Yeah, I think it might have to do with the the young boys having a role model. You try to act like your role model. You try to do life like your role model because you look up to that person and you admire that person. Without a father in the home, well, your role model for the first easily 10 years of your life is your mother.
To add on how fatherhood affects boys, it also affects girls a lot. Because
It does.
girls look up to their dad if they look up to their dad and love their dad and aren't hurt by him. Then when they're looking for a husband someday, they're gonna want their dad in the qualities of their dad and their husband. I don't remember where I heard this, but this phrase is in my head. It's like a dad is a young boy's hero and a dad is a young girl's first love. So
That's sweet.
yeah.
Yeah, I figured I wasn't going to hit on the girl side of stuff too much just because I felt like I was kind of out of the water.
Well, guys, I'm not, because
Yeah, I was gonna say
Right here.
Sam's got the estrogen going on.
I got all the meaty estrogen.
Wow.
Obviously, we don't. While some of us have more estrogen than others, we are not. we don't have the best perspective, I guess, on that. So I think that would be an interesting.
It would be interesting.
Girl, it's all about what you're feeling in the day. So if you're feeling it, talk about it, girl.
Dude, I'm so feeling it. So sorry for calling you dude.
Wow.
Girl, watch it.
So sorry. Can I buy you a latte?
Please.
So,
You
I
got
want
it.
an African-American mocha.
What? They took that out last season. I can't believe you didn't know that. It's pumpkin
Starbucks,
spice now.
Starbucks is so unwoke.
guys.
Unbelievable.
Wait, hold on. Joe is ready to talk. Let's talk.
Okay.
This is flashbacks. When I was in school, we had assigned seating, and two girls who were friends sat right beside me, and they would have conversations over me, and so I would just sit back in the chair just so they could talk.
Would they tell you to move? We're like,
No, they would just completely ignore me.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Buddy.
I
you
know
should've just
it's
been like-
rejection.
You should have just started talking and just.
Oh, I didn't care. I was just like, okay, fine.
Sam. So, all right. How you doing?
I'm doing so good.
That's crazy. Well, so sorry for
We're talking about manhood.
Yeah.
Well, what not to do? What not to do?
Yeah, Joey. Me and
this.
Sam will both want to make sure you're okay. We just want you to deal with your trauma here, and we're sorry that you had to go through that. But
Moment of silence, please.
well, this is a
We've
podcast.
had enough
so,
moments of silence already.
between our ums and our pauses.
Yep. Us.
There it is. There it is.
Thank you for that moment of silence.
Yeah, there it is.
Take a moment.
Perfect. All of the awkward pauses will add up to a nice long moment of silence.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, we derailed a little. It's fine. I wanted to. So we had said, okay, we kind of got some problems with kind of manhood in Western society, probably the world. I don't really know, but probably at least Western society. What now as young men? How do we where do we go from here? How do we do better?
For me personally, I'm a young man, so
That's true.
I can't really I can't tell other men what to do, even if I know what the Bible says. Like, that's just not my place. But I know, just for me specifically, get married young, have lots of kids. That seems like a good idea.
Well, yeah, that's definitely with family stuff. I mean, that's definitely a way to go. But that doesn't make you a man. Like, you can be a man, like a man in the sense not like male female,
Yeah,
but
I
a man in
understand,
the
like-
sense of like how you act. That I like how you like for me, it's like a man is someone who takes responsibility no matter what.
Yeah.
Like someone who like it's kind of like we were saying earlier, who loves, takes responsibility, who isn't lazy and passive and just lets other people do it. Like it is part of the actual gender and the biology, but it is major part, in my opinion. I think it is also how you act and stuff. And just for me, it's taking responsibility. I think is the biggest thing. It's just like that's just like I don't do it ever, but I mean, like, if I was a man, I would totally take responsibility for things.
Gotcha.
He would, comb his hair, shave his beard.
Well, is that taking? I guess that's taking responsibility
joking.
for my face,
For your hygiene.
for my hygiene. Yeah, yeah. I
I
abandoned
think
my.
Phil Robertson would smack me if he heard me say that.
I-
A real man combs his hair and shaves his beard.
Yeah, I abandoned my hygiene, and we're getting a divorce.
Yeah, he only wears sweatpants.
Yeah.
It is true. It is a good thought to define. Yeah, there's a lot of boys who
Just ignore him. Just ignore him.
who are older than what they should be to be classified as boys.
Right, and I just my point, I guess, to all that was just that you can like still be a man and not necessarily have a family. In my opinion, like you don't have to have a family to be a man, and so
Absolutely.
that's you were saying for you it's having a family, but for me I think it's more of your character. Is what's your character?
Yep.
And I think
I
that's
think what I
I'm
said,
saying.
I'm not saying like that would make me a man. I know that, but like
You're saying
that's my end goal is to be. I'm not just going to be a man for myself. That kind of defeats the whole purpose of becoming a man. It's you're becoming a man for others.
To be a man, you're a servant leader.
Yeah.
And if you're doing it for yourself,
That's selfish.
yeah, it doesn't
So you're
work.
doing it for your future, with your future wife in mind and future
Right.
kids, and
Yep.
So
Yeah, I think, and you said servant. I think that was another good big word as well. I don't know if we brought up
Yeah.
servant is a big one.
Yeah.
servant's heart.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah,
such a
just
servant's
putting
Others first, right?
exactly. Do you think we need to put more emphasis on manhood as a culture, like encouragement towards manhood?
heart. Oh yeah.
Well, we're at this point we're going away from that. I mean, we're driving the opposite direction. So we would need a full-on U-turn.
Yeah.
And maybe another U-turn, just to do a few U-turns, like a
Just
Well,
a
U-turn.
disorientation.
U-turn would.
well, it'd be
going
like
straight.
it would be. That's fair. We don't want
What?
to. I'm just saying,
it's
like
a O turn.
I was just saying, we do a few.
So
we do
just
like
doing donuts.
just do a few U-turns just to emphasize it, and then we'll have extra speed to then go the opposite way. Because I think my point is we're going. If this is the right way, we're going this way. You see what I'm like? If the illustration. So we need to do a few of these and come back this way.
Yeah.
A few U-turns is really just a circle, like you said.
Yes, we're doing donuts. Is what I'm saying. We're doing donuts. That's the answer. Donuts is the answer
Always.
for our cultural problems.
Eat more donuts.
Obesity. I don't think.
Yeah, maybe
Oh, that's
not.
actually obesity. I do remember that. Obesity when there's no father in the home. Because honestly, the only reason I
what?
got on this diet is
Yeah.
because my dad said, "You're fat, go on a diet." And I said, "Okay, Dad," and I'm not offended. He's right.
So
I got a big chubby face,
Yes, it's
and
true.
I love him for it because he's honest with me, and I don't really care.
It's true. Clarify what you were saying though. You weren't clear.
You're sorry.
saying
I'm just rambling.
Yeah.
My brain is going 80 miles per second.
you were saying that
You know,
when there isn't a
when there-
father in the home.
Obesity is more likely.
Yes. Okay.
Is that actually a system?
I heard that somewhere.
Okay,
Was that from mom too?
No, but I mean, hey, you have personal experience with it, so there's some validity to it. It's true. We do need to do a complete U-turn as a culture and come back. But it's funny is if like let's say we wanted to start like being much more encouraging on young boys becoming men and like encouraging, and that's frowned. That's looked down on
Yeah,
in culture.
exactly. Yeah.
But luckily, part of being a man is standing your ground,
Standing up. Yeah.
and standing up, back up straight. Just you know the right thing to do, and you're going to do it. You don't care what people think about you, and you're going to do what's best for you, your family, your kids. And then if you're talking to young boys, whatever mentoring position you have, you're going to do the best for them. Kind of like what you're saying. You don't need to have a family to be a
Man.
man, manhood. So luckily, like we do need to do a whole U-turn, and we need to start encouraging manhood instead of discouraging it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have very good practice at standing strong in our beliefs because we'll have a lot of pushback at it.
And
Yeah.
you right there, you just gave the remedy for America's culture is by the few in our culture right now to be real men to then train up younger men.
Yep.
And
Yeah, because going back to the beginning, you train up young men, and you're gonna start seeing a generation with a lot less abortions, a lot less suicides, mass shootings, anxiety.
Yeah.
Mental illness
you know,
stuff.
politics will only go so far, but let's fix the family problem because that will actually, help the issue.
Yeah.
Politics can make law. Even if we made abortion illegal, I guarantee you there would still be abortions going on, because it'd become black market and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
because the issue of the fathers not being in the home, that problem hasn't been solved yet.
The family it runs the culture.
Yeah.
And the culture is the bigger war outside of politics. If you want a healthy culture, a culture that is not dealing with all these problems in such mass quantity, you need to deal with the core issue. And the core issue is the family unit. And then it just falls on us. And as men, we are here to lead our families. We're here to mentor the young boys coming up. And like, there's a lot of responsibility put on us, and we can't shy down from this in this moment in time.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I mean, if I could just summarize everything, I would say that I just think men need to stand up, like you're saying, especially when you're at the urinal. And
Definitely.
on that note, I think
I enjoyed talking to you guys. I'll talk to you guys in another 3 weeks.
hopefully it'll be sooner.
gosh.
But
gosh.
this is it's been fun. We got the name settled, and
Finally.
we're able to have some fun. And still kind of get to the meat of topics, and I think that's going to kind of be where we're heading.
It's all coming back to meat.
And it's just a lot of meat. And
A lot of meat.
Yeah, we're just a couple of hairy pieces of meat.
Woo. Oh.
All right, perfect.
Okay, bye.